Bishop, good to see you again.
Okay.
We're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and it overlaps from September into October. And how many Hispanic Catholics do we have here in the Diocese of Brooklyn?
Probably half of our Catholics would be of Hispanic origin. You know, we're talking about 1.5, 1.6 million. So there would be, could be upwards of 800,000 Hispanic Catholics in the diocese.
We talk about Hispanics. I mean, sometimes we think it's a homogenized group, but it's really a very diverse
Very
group.
diverse, sure. Every country they come from is different. There's some commonalities, the languages, but then you see all kinds of differences of culture and ways of doing things. So it is a great diversity.
What specific gifts do you think the Hispanic, Spanish-speaking people bring to our church here in the diocese?
Well, I think they bring a love of family, which is really important. A devotion to the church for those who do participate. There's an innate religiosity there that it manifests itself in different ways. So I think that's important. We're concerned about those who are going off to other religions, or sometimes they dabble in them, they come back to the faith. They're people of the sacraments, though. They really do want baptism and the Eucharist. So that's our, what we need to concentrate on, making sure they understand the sacramental nature of the church. At the same time, the service of the Word is important, and we need to adapt ourselves to their particular culture and how they see things. I think we've done that with other groups in the past, so we need to understand the Hispanics better and meet their religious needs.
Are we going to have the same problem with Hispanics that we've had with other cultural groups? When they come here, of course, the people who come here are very religious. They're full with the faith. As the generations go on, they seem to move away from the church. With European cultures, a lot of them are alienated from the church now. How do we keep the Hispanics in the church and keep them faithful to the faith?
It's a good question. I don't know if we have all the answers to it. Again, we make sure that they're welcomed at the first time. When people have bad experiences, they just perdure for generations. People don't forget that they were rejected or not treated properly. That's the first thing we need to do. Welcome them truly, adapt ourselves to their cultural needs, their language, their form of worship. I think that's the first thing we need to do. After that, we've got to make sure that the justice that they seek in our society is something we work for as a church. Sometimes it's racial justice, sometimes it's economic justice. It depends. So again, we've got to be with the people, and if we're with them, I don't think we're going to lose them, but we can't be alienated from them.
And certainly one of the rich things they bring to the diocese is the many different devotions that they come with.
Sure.
And you participate in a lot of these street processions and observances. What do you get out of those when you attend?
Well, they're what we call popular religiosity, and the Holy Father's been talking about it, Pope Francis, about this is important to people. This is how they express their faith. It's something passed down generation to generation, and faith is something passed on. It isn't something you're going to read in a book and catch. You're going to find it by witnessing one generation to the next. It's passed on. In many cultures, it's passed on through these forms of religious observance. Some cultures may not understand them, but the fact is those people do understand it, that this is what my ancestors did, this is what my grandfather, my father, my mother, grandmother did. They've asked me to do this. This is what keeps them together in the faith.
And early October, of course, we celebrate the holiday, Columbus Day, and he flew under the Spanish flag. He came here. A lot of controversy about Christopher Columbus. Was he a saint or was he a villain? How do you look at Christopher Columbus and his contribution to the New World?
Well, I don't think he was either a saint or a villain. I think he was an explorer. I think there were a lot of good things that he himself did, and all the research on him doesn't come up with the villain. They come up with a man who was trying to explore, who had a religious side to him, clearly, and that sometimes after him, many things were done, especially to the native populations that were not something that were not good. I mean, it's clearly, but it wasn't he himself. It doesn't seem that you could pin on him some of the terrible actions that happened after him.
Okay, Bishop, thanks so much for being with us. Okay.